So do you love white people?
Ahoy, crew members. Today I've got another sit-down between Jesse Lee Peterson and some loudly dressed Hebrew Israelites. I'll pause periodically to add my thoughts, break down any arguments, and call out any logical fallacies. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's roll.
I love everybody.
But I'm only asking about white people only.
Well, I'm gonna keep saying everybody because I don't want to exclude nobody. So
How about you? You love white people?
I love, we're not born to hate anyone.
Right.
So
And do you love white people?
I love all people.
Do you love white people?
Are
The
they considered
Caucasian.
people?
Well, they're the only group I'm asking about.
We're
Do you
not
love
racist.
white people?
Look, I have friends that are from the Caucasian race.
Do you love white people? The Caucasian.
Caucasian is white.
Right. Do you love them?
I love everybody.
That's
we
interesting.
answer. Yeah, we're answering the question. So.
And so what's the plan? Do you plan on moving back to Israel?
Well, what's going to happen is, according to the Bible, the Most High is going to. You want to get some scriptures on this?
Oh, yeah, but let me ask you this first. You said that white people and other people are oppressing black people, right?
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah. You don't think you're under oppression right now?
In what way are they oppressing black people?
Okay. Well, first of all, probably like 70% of our people were in jail, right?
Right.
In prison. Gang activity and drug activity is set up by the government. If I wanted to go get a loan, right, in a bank or whatever, they will probably turn me down.
Why?
But other nations can come over here that don't even live here and get a loan off the bat. So you got to see
Why would they
that we
turn
are
you
actually
down?
being held down as a nation. And this is, they say the first slave ship came here 1619, right? It's 2018. So we almost in a 400-year period, right? So we were supposed to be oppressed for almost 400 years. So we're approaching that time. Not saying that when we get to 400 years, that's when the Mashiach gonna come back, but we are approaching and we're getting closer to our curses being lifted off of us because we've been held down for 400 years.
Why wouldn't they let you have a loan at the bank? If you went to the bank and said, hey, I'd like to get a loan, they would say no to you?
More than I have tried to get a loan a couple of times, and I had all of the qualifications that they asked me for,
And they did
and
not.
then they made me jump through a million hoops.
Right.
And then other people that I know that's not of the same ethnicity as myself, they can go in there and get a loan. I was about to pay him to go get a loan for me.
Let's pause right here. Notice how oppression keeps getting defined emotionally instead of concretely. High incarceration, gang violence, drug abuse, those are listed as proof of oppression, but no causal mechanism is ever clearly established. That's a correlation equals causation fallacy. Social problems are treated as automatic evidence of external oppression, rather than outcomes that require behavioral, cultural, or policy explanations. Then, when Jesse asks who is doing the oppressing, the answer stays vague. The system. White people, the government. No names, no policies, no timelines. You can't diagnose a problem if you refuse to specify the cause. That's not an argument, that's a mood.
But so so they didn't let you have it because you were black?
I believe that's the reason.
You believe the same thing?
We go through a lot of things with that. Our eyes are open now to a lot of things we may not have saw before. So little things like that we recognize.
Is it possible that due to your anger toward them that you may be living in an illusion?
Who has
We don't
anger
have-
towards
yeah.
It
anybody?
has nothing to do with color?
We don't have any anger towards
we're
anyone.
not angry
All
people.
we trying to do.
Who are the angry people?
We're not angry
Oh, you
people.
two are not?
Yeah.
Oh, but everybody else in their mama.
No, I'm not saying everyone
black.
is. I'm just saying, that's a lot of the stereotypes we get.
So you don't think that
you
our
mentioned-
people is under oppression?
Not because of the white man.
Oh, you don't? Who ruling the world right
They
now?
are under oppression because they have hatred in their hearts. And that hatred in their hearts is what
Who got
holding
hatred
them
in their
back.
hearts?
Black people.
Black
So you
people
have
got
hatred in your heart?
I had it, but it's gone now.
Okay, so
And it
Why?
doesn't start with the white people. It starts with most black men and women hate their mothers and grandmothers. And because they won't forgive them, they're living in darkness. And in that darkness, they're living in illusion. And so they've been told by the enemies of good that it's the white man, when it's really they're hating their mothers and yearning for their fathers.
So
Have you ever heard of Stockholm Syndrome?
Yes,
You know what that is?
yes.
What is it?
It's when Patty Davis was captured by the Black Panthers, and they tortured her, and she began to hate them. And once she began to hate them, she identified with them and started supporting them.
Okay.
As you become attracted
So are
to
you
what you hate.
you talking like Patty Hearst right now?
How's that?
Because you loving the oppressor. Now, is our nation being oppressed right now?
No, not by white people.
Who are we getting oppressed by then?
Black people.
I don't understand.
So, so I do love all people. I love white people. I
But
love
you don't love black
the Jews. I love the blacks. But you can't say you love the whites.
Yes, I did. I said I love everybody.
No, everybody is not white. You said something else that I got to get to. You said that an example of being oppressed is that the blacks are in jail, they're committing violence, gang members and stuff like that. Do you blame white people for that?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
So I grew up under the Jim Crow laws.
It's not fully their fault.
I remember for colors only signs, for whites only signs, I was restricted to where I could live. But because we had fathers and mothers getting married, out of wedlock birth was an embarrassment. Abortion was unheard of. Blacks were taught to work and build. I had family members who owned land. Some of them never worked the plantation because they owned land and did their own thing. They were not going to jail. I didn't grow up with one person going to jail. No one around me was going to jail. If white people were oppressing and we were under the Jim Crow laws and they were causing black on black violence and incarceration, why didn't we see it then instead of now? Why didn't we see it then?
Here's another inconsistency. The guests argue that modern conditions are directly caused by slavery and Jim Crow. Yet when Jesse compares those eras to today, pointing out stronger family structures and lower crime under objectively harsher laws, suddenly the comparison is invalid. You can't have it both ways. Either historical comparison matters, or it doesn't. This is a selective historical framing fallacy. History only counts when it supports the narrative. If Jim Crow explains today's problems, then improvements since Jim Crow have to be acknowledged too. Ignoring that progress isn't honesty, it's storytelling.
So you don't think that that's hatred?
No, but tell me why
the
the question is, if it's the fault of the oppressor that blacks are in jail, why didn't we see it back then as opposed to now?
Why didn't we see it back in Jim Crow days?
Yes.
Actually, our people was more actually structured back in those days. They was fighting for their equal rights. They was more organized. They were
not organized.
Yeah, right
they
now.
They weren't even thinking
right
of being
now,
organized.
everybody is going
it's
for
not
self.
True. They were not organized at all. They were living. They were not identifying with preachers. They were not identifying with black politicians or anybody. They only got their identity from family, from God, and from family. They were not. They had no leaders, and they were better off.
They became
Let me say
organized.
something. See, now this is what.
And that's a good point. They became organized.
This is why you need to understand about a Hebrew Israelite, because when everybody understands who they are and why things happen the way that they happen, then you will understand where you're going. You will understand what's taking place. You will understand that we need to move forward and do what we got to do for the Most High.
But why didn't we see incarceration and abortion and all that junk during the Jim Crow era, as opposed to now when blacks are free? If it's a white man
well, you
fault,
know that abortion is being pushed by the government upon our black people.
I know, but the point is, when blacks were under those laws, why didn't we see incarceration and all that happening then, as opposed to now?
Well, right now, I think that they locking a lot more of us up. They have the 3-strike law, right? So you can get in trouble for one thing, and you can get 3 strikes off that one thing. So now our brothers and now the jail.
But you're not telling me why it wasn't out of control prior to the Jim Crow laws. Prior to overcoming the Jim Crow laws. Why didn't we see it then if it's the white man who is oppressing black people?
They did see it then. You don't think
didn't grow up
who was
around
they
this
marching
year.
against?
Right,
Who was spraying us with water hoses?
That's oppression.
But it wasn't oppression. It was a wrong law that was put on by the government, Democratic Party, by the way. the government, and it wasn't oppressing us. We didn't feel oppressed. We saw the signs, but because we were free within and we
Did Martin
believed
Luther
in
King
God.
think he was getting oppressed?
No.
He
The only
didn't?
thing that Martin Luther King did and should have done and then dropped it was to fight to change the laws, and so that the same laws that governed and protected white folks were applied to black people.
Well, the white
Other
people,
than that, blacks would have been fine even
the white
today.
people that you love go against you on that. They gave Martin Luther King his own day.
When you say that I love,
because they think that the things that he was fighting for was justified. You wouldn't even be able to sit in the front of the bus if it weren't for Martin Luther
that's
King.
why they
And
need to
Rosa
change the
Parks.
laws.
Huh?
That's why they needed to change the laws because
He
and
he had to
then-
do drastic
and then
things
left
to change
everything
the
else
laws, and
alone.
he did his with peace. We got Malcolm X who
When
do
you
it.
say the white people that I love, am I not supposed to love them?
Yeah, I'm saying you love
Should
them,
I
but,
love white people?
But do you think you white?
So let me
Or
ask
do you think you what are you?
I'm asking you, should I love white people?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
But
if they
why
love
you
you-
say the white people that you're supposed to love? As
Because
though I should love them.
Because what I'm saying is the way that you're expressing your love is different from mine.
How's that?
Because you're condoning wickedness.
How's that?
Because it's a lot of wickedness that takes place that they have done against our people, and you want to have a blind eye to it.
How am I having a blind eye?
It's like
okay,
you're
now
not
when we came over
recognizing.
here in slave ships, was that racism?
No.
That
It
wasn't
wasn't.
racism.
He just playing.
Why do you
What
say
kind of show
that?
we on, yo?
Why do you say that was racism?
To capture and force people to go somewhere that they don't want to go.
And who were the racists promoting that, doing that? Who were the people doing that?
The so-called white man.
Finally, let's talk about the slavery argument. When asked whether slavery equals racism, the guests say yes, full stop. But that collapses multiple concepts into one. That's a category error. Slavery has existed across races, nations, and centuries. That doesn't make American slavery morally acceptable, but it does mean slavery and racism aren't identical phenomena. Jesse's point isn't that slavery was good, it's that moral evil isn't automatically reducible to racial hatred alone. Refusing to separate those concepts isn't moral clarity, it's intellectual shortcutting.
It's not true.
It's not true.
Black people were sold into slavery by blacks, wealthy, to the Arabs.
Let's get Psalms
And it was
83.
Yeah,
it was the
Let's get
Arabs.
Psalms 83 real
Let me
quick.
just finish this, and
All
then
right.
we'll get to that. We will.
Okay.
It was the Arabs who sold the blacks across the world. It wasn't white people who just tiptoed over to Africa and just bought took white folks. They were being sold by other black people. Is that racism for black? And they're still doing that today in parts of Africa where blacks are enslaved by other blacks and Arabs. Is that
Where
racism?
every black person
Wait a
is
minute,
not
wait a
the
minute,
Is that
it's not
racism?
the
Okay,
same
so
either.
you want to justify
No, I'm asking you,
black
is it
people
racism?
going against black people, but you don't want to look at white people at all.
No,
But
just
nothing
asking.
that they have done wrong.
No, that's
they
not
used
true.
to grab our women, and this is serious. This is man to man. Me talking to you. You need to hear what I'm about to tell you. They used to grab our women that was pregnant, and they used to get a horse and tie both her legs to,
To two different horses and
split
make
her
the
apart.
horses go.
They used to smash our babies' heads. They used to feed our babies to alligators.
And that's
you
not
say that ain't
wickedness.
racism?
But anytime you have slavery like that, someone else controlling you, they're going to torture you like that.
No,
all,
but the question
all people
is,
have been in some
is it
forms of
racism?
slavery, and they have gone through that.
Is it
no,
racism?
that's not racism.
Oh, Jesse, you are an absolute gem. These two tried to stay on script, but JLP has heard all this before. That's why he's ready to push back on this nonsense. If you enjoy this type of content, please subscribe to the channel. If you disagree, go ahead and leave a comment. Until next time, stay wise.